Marie-José is an associate professor at Lusófona University and a member of the board of the Center for Research in Applied Communication, Culture and New Technologies, also known as SICANT, if I pronounce this well. She coordinates the project Educational Centers with Digital and Civic Competences, Digi Educa, and she's leading the European project SMaRT-EU. Maria José, I'm very pleased to welcome you and to give you the virtual floor.
So good morning, everyone. It's with great pleasure that I'm here, and I think I can say the same on behalf of my colleagues from the SMaRT-EU team. This has been a great journey for us, a challenging one, and a great journey in the project that has started last year during this pandemic situation. As a starter, I would like to thank you to the European Commission that is financing the SMaRT-EU project through the Media Literacy for All program. And I also take this chance in the beginning of this presentation also to thank to Brona Walton that was supposed to be here with us today, but she cannot due to a last minute personal issue. She has been our contact with the European Commission throughout the life of the project. This SMaRT-EU project, you will learn a lot about what we've done during the life of the project. I would, in my presentation, I will just give a brief overview of what we've done, and also trying also to perspective our future since the project, the official life of the project ends in December. And so we will try also, we are now in the process of thinking how it will happen in the future and beginning in the next January. So the aim of the SMaRT-EU project, Social Media Resilience Toolkits, from the beginning, it was to provide tools, suggestions, different types of resources to train young people, older adults, and also different types of educators, not only teachers, in the more, let's say, formal learning context, but also other educators and different workers that have to deal in their institutions with children and young people, and with older adults as well. And what we've been trying to do is to, in a way, trying to contribute that these young people and older adults and the educators as well could have more tools to become more resilient to disinformation and fake news, and always in the context of this idea that we live now in a digital society, and so considering also the context of digital citizenship nowadays. Now I will just give really a brief overview of the project that you will learn more during the next presentations of my colleagues. I will just name also very briefly the partners of the project, so Lusófona University, Pontitiscu, DKMK, IMEC, University of Tartu, and also Erica. And we've been working especially in these 5 outputs or work package. And the first one, it's related with this idea that we had from the beginning. Actually, this is in a way the name and the title of the project as well, to create, not only to create, but also to aggregate existing tools on social media and for social media, and resilience. So we have in the beginning of the project, this was the starting point. We started to try to identify what were the tools that already existed: videos, academic publications, different resources that could be used by different educators. So that was our repositorium. And after that, we also started to create new tools that at least we think that might be useful for these activities, and especially in this case for young people and for older people. And so Ana Oliveira will detail a bit more on these tools for social media resilience. But here we also tried to, besides the work that was done with the team, with the SMaRT-EU team, also to ask you all to send us your own works, your own tools that you use to work within your communities. If you are, for instance, academics, to send us your publications, because we will be very glad to make an update out of it. Then we had these participatory activities with local intergenerational communities. I would say that maybe this was the most challenging part of our project, and I really think to our Croatian colleagues that had a huge effort in changing what we had prepared for a face-to-face project before COVID came into our lives, and then we had to change it all to an online environment, and still give to and still ensure that we would have participatory activities with our communities, the young people and the older people. And so here we did a set of workshops that Igor Canijas will detail in some minutes. Here we tried for real to do to interact directly with these participants on issues of disinformation, digital society, social media, clickbait, and so on. We also had the preparations of the online platform that was also challenging, because we, besides the websites, we also had to host on the platform the Be Learning course that will also be detailed also through with my colleague Alenka Leconte. So in this Be Learning course and final workshop, we've tried to create a set of a course, an online course that we can use to try to see if we have the knowledge to deal with this disinformation society, and also to use it within our communities. The last work package, it was what we called YouTube News, that will be detailed by my colleague Mario Ima Kadaskas. And here we did two very relevant activities. We have a set of videos that were produced by our Estonian colleagues with a new an influencer, an Estonian influencer, and those videos are very interesting, for instance, to use with young people and to work with them on issues of news, what is news, what is this disinformation society. And we also did a very interesting and important um, focus group, intergenerational focus group, with most of them with, for instance, a grandson and then a grandparents and so on. So we tried here to put younger people in the family in contact, in direct contact with older family members, trying to discuss among them sometimes particular aspects and subjects that often we don't discuss in family. And so here the challenge was to talk, to put two persons talking, two persons that are from the same family and that know each other so well, but sometimes they don't know what they do on Facebook and what they do, for instance, in regard to news consumption. And so this was I would say let's say the outline of the project. So we have some challenges. Of course, these type of projects have always an unforeseen challenge. But in this case, like all of us in our lives in these last almost 2 years, we faced these specific COVID-19 challenges. So our first challenge was really, as I've said before, to transform our face-to-face objectives of the project and into the online environments. So this was our first challenge, and we really needed to make some strategies to overpass this issue. It's kind of strange for us. We are now today here in this final conference, and it's a bit strange because I don't know the majority of my partners face to face. So this is kind of weird. The participatory approach was really the most challenging in the project because we really wanted to try to have a bottom-up perspective when implementing this SMaRT-EU project. And to do that, for sure, we really needed to engage with our communities. And so this was, at least from my perspective, the most challenging part of the project. Also, we set this goal from the beginning of the project to work in an intergenerational approach. So we try to do this as much as possible because we think that for one hand, this is something that is not so common in research with different generations, because usually the research look at generations as separate, let's say, age groups. And we tried here to try to integrate them and to make them talk to each other. So we did that in the workshops, in the participative workshops, and also in the focus group, as I've told you before. So we think that this was important because this is an uncommon perspective, but also we really think that this is a fruitful perspective that we should address in the future because it really makes younger generations in dialogue with older generations, trying to bring the best of each one of them in a common ground. So this was also challenge in a pandemic situation, but we think we planted the seed, and maybe we can work more upon that in the future. And of course, one of the great challenge we had during the project, and I would say, and here I think I can talk um, on behalf of all of my colleagues, but we really experienced that in the Portuguese workshops, participatory workshops, to work with and to older people, because it's really a challenge to work with them and to them, and to try to have their own mindsets, especially because they grew up in a mass media context, and which is very different to the context that we live now in our digital world. Just to try to talk a bit on the future, and in regard to the sustainability of the project, we will keep updating our resources, and you will see today, maybe you've just seen in our chat the links that you can use, and we really would appreciate that you could do that, to send us your own work so that we can upload it on our websites. Our content is licensed by Creative Commons, and so this means that by, of course, giving credit to SMaRT-EU, you can share, and we really appreciate that you do that. You can share what we've done throughout the life of the project. Also, I would highlight the B-Learning course that will remain available beyond the life of the project. Another thing that I would like to highlight is this, what we've tried to do since the beginning of the project, to promote synergies with other projects, for instance, with other research projects. We try to do that as much as possible, for instance, with the projects from the Media Literacy for All program that started actually with two projects that join us together in this SMaRT-EU, that were Mind Over Media and also Media in Action. But we have so far so many projects in this program, so we try to do that, and also with other research projects, and we'll try to continue to do that in the future. So please, if you have a research project that you think could be a good match to SMaRT-EU, please contact us. And we will also have soon more details about the European network of SMaRT-EU that will try to continue to improve and refresh our outputs. So please contact us. You will have also some details in the chat throughout the day. So please contact us to make a future in a joint way. And before ending, because I'm quite sure that in the end of our morning session, we will not have a lot of time for wrap up, because our expert panel session, I'm quite sure that will inspire you to a lot of questions. So I'm quite sure that I will not have time by then to do what I'm going to do now. And so I really want to thank you a lot to all my project team members, which is a huge list. So sorry I cannot name you all, but I will just, through my colleagues that will make presentations today, do that. And so to Ana, Filipe Oliveira, also Alenka Leconte, Igor Canijaz, Mário Ima Cadascas, and also Angela Caradog. And also, because she's not presenting anything today, Beatriz Terreros from Erica, that has been also working with us and put a lot of effort in the organization of this conference. So she is not in the program, but still I would like to make that note. And also to the members of the advisory board, you will note some of them in the expert panel that were very important for us throughout the life of the project. The children, young people, adults, and older people that gave us the chance to work with them, and the institutions, some institutions where some of them are, for instance, adults, older people institutionalized in different countries, in Croatia, Belgium, Estonia, Luxembourg, Portugal, Spain, and Wales. So thank you all a lot, and thank you, last but not least, to all of you that are here with us in this final conference of the project. So thank you so much, and I hope that the day can be very fruitful for you, and that you can enjoy the project as much as we did. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marie-José, for your warm introduction. There were a lot of people involved in this project, apparently, so congratulations you all on this achievement. I just wanted to mention that I already saw an interesting question in the chat, and I just wanted to raise it. We still have 1 minute before we go to the next one, but the question was from Melika Hermo. How did you come to this cooperation and find each other as different organizations in different countries?
Okay, yes, thank you for your question. Actually, we were gathered together in the beginning because some of us participated in the first, so some of us participated in the two projects, Mind Over Media and Media in Action, that were the first projects that twin this Media Literacy for All program called, the first one for the Media Literacy for All. And actually we had a colleague, Julian McDougall, that will join us in the final part of our morning in the expert panel. And actually he came to me and to my colleague Igor from Croatia, and he said that maybe we could do something together in a new project. And so through the partners, some of the partners from Media in Action and Mind Over Media, we started to to create the network, and so this is how we got together and how we started to work together in the SMaRT-EU project.
Okay, thank you for this extra information and for answering this question.